A simple move to upcycle and recycle and make something old useful again. When we started doing the garden, we were trying to keep the cost down, and trying to do that, we decided to keep some of the old materials, like we've got some of the Derbyshire stone here. As you can see, we've used them around the garden, and we kept these sets, and these were buried. So we thought, right, we'll try and utilise them somewhere. So what I've been thinking is that to avoid the bad luck of having the joint offset with the cottage on these steps, because it works out it's about 60mm out. So we're thinking full slab, centre of the tread, 3 steps, and having the Derbyshire stone come underneath it. So once it's sat on, it'll sit on top of it. I think that'll be a nice little feature. Cost saving by reusing materials and bringing the more modern back into the natural. Right, so what we've done so far, looking at the steps, we decided to put a softer edge in rather than just have slabs as an upstand and onto the flat. So we're going to stick with the idea of putting a slab centre of each tread. And what we decided to do, a couple of levels of block pavers. We're going to put a mortar mix between the joints, then we're going to build it up as a conventional wall. And then with the slab, we're going to cut 4 inches off the width of this slab, because it's ½ a metre wide. And then that will sit just behind these, nice and level, and we'll put gravel surround. So that's a bit of a soakaway as well. Before we decided to take down our dry laying, and by dry laying what I meant is we offered the stones up before we laid them in with some mortar, and we got it all set so we knew which pavers were going where. This meant that when we're at this stage, once we have disassembled our dry laying and put them in rows, we can just drop them back into place with no messing about trying to guess what goes where, because they're all different sizes, all different thicknesses, and it just speeds up the process. So you can see what Morgan's doing now. He's picking out the stones that we'd already picked, and he's putting them in place for me, and they just fly in. Otherwise, we'd spend half an hour trying to guess what size goes where, and we can build these layers up in good time, helping us keep on with the progress of the job. You've got to remember that a lot of this muck here you're not going to see, so you want to try and leave something for it to bed onto and seal up.
How long does it take for it to dry?
It'll set quite well overnight, but I'd stay off for a couple of days, you know. And to be fair, they're not there really if you just put the pressure on. They're there as decoration more than anything.
In between that gap right there,
yeah,
you just put a bit of screed in it, is that correct?
Yeah, so basically I just want to pack it out, so it helps prevent movement. So in the future, if you've got people kicking it and whatnot, if you've got a gap, it'll want to move. If you've got no gap and it's set, it won't want to move. It doesn't have to be very special, it's just a void filler. I could use mortar. Again, it'd still do the same thing, but because I've got screed ready now here, I'm just using that because it's convenient. I enjoy this sort of work, this sort of thing. It's nice, it's creative, and it allows you to play with the old stuff and make something out of it. It's almost like upcycling. You know, I'm one of these that I like watching the repair shop, and it's kind of my version of the repair shop. It's using the old, making it new. I'll leave a gap round the back of each one of about 50mm. Also give me on average, the tightest area is about here. So I've got 350, so I've made 300mm pieces and just spotted it in the middle. I can always move them around. Now we've got to do a cut. So what we're doing now is we're going to put some of the screed down for the slab. So what I've got him to do is put some of the, what we call butter, it's primer for the slab, put it on the base as well, because it's a porous base. As soon as you put the screed down, it's going to want to suck it all out, and then it will dry out the bottom quicker, which might leave a bit of a layer. So what we've done is put a primer, so it's got adhesion on both sides, not just from the bottom of the slab to the screed, but the screed to the old bed as well. Stand them back. Now walk halfway down the patio. Now stop. How's it look? Doesn't need turning, doesn't look square, does it look alright? Is it perfectly imperfect? Perfectly imperfect, good lad, I like that. So here we are, we have the semi-finished product. So as you can see, we've formed our steps as discussed earlier. We're just waiting for the mortar to still dry off. Despite the sun shining, it hasn't fully dried off, so we can start just brushing out the joints, and then we'll fix all them up with a bit of screed or a bit of grey compo, make them look nice. Put the slabs in, so we've formed our 3 stepping stones on top. We'll put some edging stones at the far end. That's going to segregate the hard landscaping to the soft. So you'll come up, gravel surround around all the slabs, walk across the slabs and onto the garden. It's a simple move to upcycle and recycle and make something old useful again. Hope you like it.